I guess I should tell you that it has been my life's love to do costume design. I have loved this from the very start. And, it hasn't all been easy. There have been times when people didn't like my work, and there's times when I didn't like my work. I remember early on, right after I had finished a Spike Lee film, it might have been School Days, that I got a job at the Apollo Theater. And I was doing A Night for Dancing with Otis Salid, and Otis was a part of the Apollo, remember the late night show at the Apollo? Where it was amateur night and they had acts, Al B. Shore and all those guys used to perform on this Apollo show. What was it called? Anyway, that was hard. I had never done like a TV show like that, and there were all these acts coming in, and I got to see some incredible performances, but as far as costume design goes, it wasn't exactly like a design job. It was more like managing what people brought in. And then we had these dancers, and the dancers, they did the opening act every time this Showtime at the Apollo, that's what it was called. So every time Showtime at the Apollo came on, they had these dancers. And the first round of costumes for these dancers, they wanted them to be in, high fashion, cocktail dresses. And I'd only done one film. I'd been in theater before then. So I didn't know, how do I do this? They didn't have a budget for me to make everything. And so I went to Bergdorf's in New York, and I had the producer's credit card, and I got a whole bunch of dresses on his American Express and went back to the Apollo and fit the girls in dresses, and sometimes they wore tennis shoes with the dresses. That was back in 89, right? Now it's in vogue. I just loved the fact that I was working at the Apollo, where dreams come true, legends are made. And I lived uptown in Spanish Harlem. I was on 155th and Riverside, Upper Drive. And I'd take, I think, the number 2 train down to 125th Street. And I just remember walking from the West Side, going towards the Apollo and seeing that sign. And I was just overwhelmed and filled with pride that, I felt then that I had made it. I felt then that, working at a place like the Apollo was, like the top. And Percy Sutton and the Suttons, they ran the Apollo back then. And we, were, thrilled to be doing this TV show right out of the Apollo. I remember walking up the steps and seeing all the photographs of all the people who had performed there and just having an overwhelming sense of pride. But it was a hard show. But I did it. And it's just a part of my history. Loving costumes.